afternoon. I'm Bridget Coles. Thanks for joining us. Let's get you updated on today's top stories. Rescue teams have been searching through damaged buildings and homes today after one of the deadliest tornadoes in U.S. history tore through Oklahoma City and its suburbs, killing at least 24 people, including 9 children. Our own meteorologist Mike Joyce is in Norman, Oklahoma. That's just a few miles from the site of yesterday's killer tornado, which tore through Moore, leaving complete destruction in its path. Mike and his weather colleagues actually witnessed the formation of that tornado. He describes what he saw.
Knowing the atmospheric condition, we knew these storms were favorable to be severe, if not tornadic. And we decided to hop on the road and navigate our way towards these storms, and the one we just happened to select intensified very, very rapidly. I mean, it was very quick. It intensified very rapidly from when the funnel was first visible, from when it was the violent, destructive wedge tornado, was just about 9 minutes. To be honest, at first it was kind of exhilarating and just, a very, exciting feeling because, the reason we had gone out to see the storm was because we wanted to see a tornado. And at that time, we had no idea that it was going to turn into this monster tornado. We thought, it'll probably drop a small funnel, maybe be on the ground for a little bit, and then dissipate, because typically that's just what happens. But once we saw it turning into this violent wedge, and then once we lost sight of it, then that excitement kind of turned to concern and almost fear, because we did hear reports at some point that it was growing at least a mile wide. I mean, I can't confirm that, but once it's at that point, it's no matter if you're a meteorologist or not, nobody is excited about that.
We'll have more from Mike on our website at WMFD.com. He'll chat with Tony and Shelley around 8:10 tomorrow morning on our sister station, Mix 106 FM. Now, we'll have more from Moore, Oklahoma, coming up just about 10 minutes. Well, a $1 million bond has been set for a former Galleon Fire Lieutenant charged with attempted murder. 57-year-old Brian Brown was arraigned Monday in Crawford County Common Pleas Court on the charge. Brown is charged with shooting his live-in girlfriend, 51-year-old Shelley Fry, on May 3rd multiple times following a domestic dispute at his home at 246 South Union Street. Now, Fry was shot 3 times in the chest and once in the arm. Fry was taken to Grant Medical Center in Columbus, where she was listed in critical condition following the shooting. Brown is charged with 1 count of attempted murder and 2 counts of felonious assault. If convicted of the charges, Brown faces a maximum sentence of 26 years in prison. A Shiloh man accused of killing his father has been indicted by the Richland County Grand Jury. 29-year-old Brandon Lawrence is charged with aggravated murder with a firearm specification, aggravated robbery, and grand theft of a vehicle and tampering with evidence. Now, 48-year-old Michael Lawrence was found dead in his home at 8607 Planktown Road near Shiloh on March 8th. Family members had reported that they had not seen Michael for days and he was not answering his phone. Now, Brandon Lawrence had been living with his father and he had not been seen for several days as well. He was last seen driving his father's truck. Brandon Lawrence was arrested March 9th at a rest area in Missouri. Now, authorities are waiting for lab results from the State Bureau of Criminal Investigation and Identification Crime Lab. The North End Community Improvement Collaborative in Mansfield wanted to celebrate the 17th annual Earth Stewardship Day in a big way on Monday. So Collaborative Executive Director Deanna West Torrance says 60 volunteers were sought to help clean up a dozen areas in the north end of town.
We call it our 60-60 cleanup, and it's 60 volunteers in 60 minutes. And so what we're doing as part of our NECIC's contribution to Earth Stewardship Month is to get 60 folks out and cleaning for an hour.
The volunteers range from senior citizens to youngsters.
I think it's great. I wish a lot more. I hear there's a lot coming in, but I wish there was a lot more that would do stuff to help keep the neighborhood clean, because we're getting older. Somebody needs to follow in our footsteps.
It's important to have people critically look at their neighborhood, and the more of us that kind of put our hands in there and get it, then the more vested we are in keeping it clean.
Cleaning supplies are provided by the City of Mansfield's Litter Prevention and Recycling Program. The Richland County Board of Elections will be wrapping up the final results today for the May 7th primary election with the count of provisional ballots. Board of Elections Deputy Director Bill Freytag told the board at their regular meeting Monday that there were only 90 provisional ballots. He says that was a very low amount due in part to the low voter turnout at the polls.
77 were validated, meaning they'll be counted when we actually do the official count. So those will be included in the official count. And we had 11 that were invalidated for various reasons, like they didn't sign their name or they weren't registered prior to the election, those type of things. There shouldn't be any changes. The closest race we had was the mayor's race in Ontario for on the Democrat side, and there was not enough provisionals that will change that.
In other business, the board received an opinion from the county prosecutor's office to determine if any further action should be taken against Republican candidate Carl Yeager, who is running for Mansfield's 5th Ward Council seat for submitting a false address. Now, during a hearing in April, the board ruled that Yeager was not a qualified candidate based on evidence gathered, which proved that Yeager did not live at 462 Lily Street, the address listed on his petitions to run for city council. The board invalidated Yeager's petition on February 12th after learning he may have submitted a false address. Now, since Yeager did not challenge the board's decision, the prosecutor's office says he should not be placed on the November ballot. Well, Mansfield City Schools, The Ohio State University Mansfield, and North Central State College will host a 2-day conference this week to explore how they can partner with other elements of the community to provide more educational opportunities for youth and promote economic development. Creating a climate for change is the theme for the 2nd annual Beginning a New Conference, which will unite educators with business, clergy, and political leaders in a series of discussions. The conference kicks off tomorrow morning at OSU Mansfield. For more information, you can visit tigerpride.com. Well, earlier this spring and late March, Mansfield resident Tom Young and his wife visited relatives in San Carlo, California, near the Bay Area. Now, Tom says he was amazed by the beautiful view from their home's balcony and started to take some photos on his tablet.
So I went down and I poked on this picture to see what I had gotten a picture of, and this appeared. And I'm looking at it and I go, "You got to be kidding me."
One of Tom's photos produced this unexplained flying object, better known as a UFO, in the skyline. But he doesn't believe this was an alien encounter.
And I said, well, NASA has got some technology that they're messing with, and I don't believe that these things are from Mars. I don't support that kind of thinking, and there's too much technology in this whole area out here that would substantiate somebody's got some technology that they're playing with.
Now, it very well could be that this image is merely a new toy being tested by the likes of NASA, as Tom suggests, but it sure does make you wonder if we really are alone. When Newswatch Midday returns, Apple executives are set to defend the company's tax practices following a Senate investigation, and Microsoft prepares to unveil its next generation Xbox console. Stay with us.